What's up, guys? Justin here, and today I'm gonna show y'all, or I'm gonna teach y'all how to ride a wheelie on a Z125. So I'm on my way to the lot here. It's about midnight. Shouldn't have no issues. And before I get there, I guess I'll tell you the main thing to riding a wheelie is rear brake control. You know, I mean, you can learn to wheelie with just the throttle, but you need to be able to save it if you're going to loop. And if you ever want to do no-handers or take your throttle hand off or scrape, then you have to know the foot brake. And I would recommend learning the foot brake and not trying to learn with the handbrake first, because if you can wheelie with the foot brake, you can pretty much wheelie any bike. And it'll be kind of embarrassing when you're killing it with the handbrake on social media or in real life, and your friend says, "Hey, wheelie my bike," and you can't do it because you don't have a handbrake. You know, if you learn foot brake, you can literally wheelie every bike. Every bike has a foot brake. Scooters don't have a foot brake. They have a handbrake, but that's a different story. And you can wheelie your bike stock. You don't need anything special. You know, people say get a sub cage to protect your tail light just in case you loop. That is true, but if you have the stock fender, it will also save your tail light because there's a metal bar under that fender. And I've actually looped this bike with just the stock fender, and I had almost nothing wrong with my bike. You know, my bike was completely stock at the time. You know, if you do want to do some upgrades, I would get a sub cage. I would get a one finger clutch lever. RSC is the best. I would go up on the rear sprocket. I got a 37 tooth. I like it. I would get some bars. You know, some pegs, axle sliders. But you don't really need all that stuff. So, you know, first thing here, you're going to be cruising. I'm in second gear. What you're going to do is pull the clutch in, give it a rev, and then dump the clutch. You know, second gear on this bike stock, you're going to have to really yank it, but so you might want to start off in first gear because you're going to be going slower. First gear, pull the clutch in, give it a rev, dump the clutch. That's how you get the wheel up. But even more important than that is learning the rear brake. And because the first thing you're going to want to do just starting out, when the bike comes back a little bit too far, you're going to want to jump off. And that never ends up good. So you need to get it ingrained in your mind to tap that rear brake. So just starting off, I wouldn't even try to wheelie far. I wouldn't even try to get it up high. Just pop it up and then bring it back down with the rear brake. Pop it up, bring it back down with the rear brake. Pop it up, bring it back down with the rear. God damn. You know, I would spend a whole day just doing that, popping it up and bringing it back down, you know, 100 times. And then, you know, start trying to bring it up a little higher, maybe chase it out. you know, but always have that rear brake covered. Also, before you pop it up, tap the brakes a few times just to make sure that you're covering the rear brake and make sure it's working. Then you can pop it up. But once you got that rear brake ingrained into your mind, you know, you have that muscle-mind connection, then you could start trying to bring it up higher. And don't worry about how far you can wheelie. When you're starting out, what's more important is how high can you bring it up. Once you have that rear brake down, try to pop it up higher. You know? Balance. Right here I'm chasing it out, ran out of revs. You know, try doing that. Then once you get comfortable with the rear brake and chasing them out, then you could try getting it to balance point. So right here I'm at balance point. I brought it back a little bit behind balance point. Way behind balance point right here. That's why I'm able to slow the bike down. When you bring it past balance point, you'll know because the revs will drop and you'll feel like a weightless feeling. Then you can just gently tap on the back brake and keep it behind balance point, but without looping, and you'll be able to slow the wheelie down. And it's at that point that you can take your hands off the bars or, you know, do other stuff. But right here, pull the clutch in, rev it, dump it, bring it up. Right here, I'm at balance point because you don't need more gas or you don't need any brake. You just keep it steady where it's at. That's balance point. And then what you do is, if it comes back past balance point, tap the rear brake. You know, it just takes practice. It just takes seat time. Eventually you'll be able to know, you know, how much gas, how much brake. But what you want to do really is pop it up and then be smooth with the gas. But don't let it off completely, but don't chop it either. You know, and then use your foot brake to kind of, really your foot brake's just there to keep you from looping. You know, there's a term, no brake till you scrape, that, you know, it's kind of true. But if you want to do, you know, no handers, or if you just want to slow it down, you got to use the brake. Main thing is, make sure you know you're going to hit that foot brake before you try to bring it past balance point. And the only way to do that is repetition. And another thing that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to wheelies is the mental aspect. So if you tell yourself, oh, I'll never learn this, I can't learn this, I suck, or, you know, things like that, you never will learn. You have to tell yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to learn how to wheelie, I'm going to learn the foot brake. And you practice it enough times and say that to yourself enough times, it will happen. You'll be doing one-handers, you'll be doing no-handers, you'll learn the foot brake, and then you'll move on to handbrake, and you'll be a killer. But you gotta have that positive attitude. Alright guys, if you like this video, subscribe, like. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your wheelies, and stay tuned for the next video.